In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make a granny square handkerchief. And without further ado, let's get started. You can use any hook size you need for the yarn that you're using. I'm going to be using a 5.5mm hook today because I am too lazy to get up and go to a different room where my 5mm hook is. I'm going to be using Super Saver in Sutherland Stripe. So this is going to be similar to the video where I made the granny square and the half granny square, because it is kind of essentially a half granny square. There's going to be some differences near the end, but it is essentially just that. So something you might see me do in videos when I'm doing a magic circle, sometimes I just go around once. It depends on what it is. If it's something that's going to be being washed or is going to be kind of roughed up a bit, I'll go around twice so it has that extra security on the magic circle. So for this, I'm going to use 3 chains as a double crochet and then 1 chain as just a regular chain. And I'm going to do 3 half double crochets. Usually that first chain bit would be one of the double crochets in a regular granny square, but you'll see why this is here later. So I've done 1 set of 3 double crochets. I'm going to chain 2. I'm going to do 3 more double crochets. You want it to match on this side, so you're going to chain 1, and then you're going to do a half double crochet, or sorry, a double crochet, and then you'll be able to tighten your magic circle. And now you have the base of your bandana. You're going to chain 4 again, turn your work. And then in that first circle, we're going to do 3 double crochets. Now this start matches the first start. And then in the next one, you're going to do 3 double crochets. And then you're going to chain 2 and do 3 more double crochets in that same circle or loop. And then in the next one, 3 double crochets. And if you're the kind of person when doing a granny square, you do 1 chain between each section, you can. I just prefer the way it looks without it. It depends on what I'm making it for. So I've done the 3, and now so it matches the other side, I'm going to chain 1. Do another one. And every time you come to the middle, you're going to do 3, chain 2, 3, and all the other ones you're going to do 3, and then 3, chain 1, 3. Or chain 4, depending on which side you're on. The side you're starting is always chain 4. And unfortunately, I'm not gonna have a size chart or anything because it's kind of, you know, if you have a handkerchief, you could fold that in half so it's a triangle and use that to measure out like a kind of a good size. I just kind of go and I keep holding it up to my head until I get what I feel like is a good size. So let's pretend this is much bigger. I'm going to show you how to finish it up and do the strings and make this little edge look much nicer. So since I'm on an edge, or a corner I guess you could say, I'm going to chain 2. I'm going to go into that same loop that this is on. And I'm going to do 3 double crochets. And in the next one, you're going to also do 3 double crochets. And in the next one, 3 double crochets. Three double crochets. Three double crochets. And then from here, you're going to chain however many you need to finish off the tie. I kind of feel like 30 is a good amount. I'll chain 30 and then I'll do 2 extra and I'll hold it on like number 30, and then on the 2 extra, that's when I'll pull it tight to secure it. And then on the other side, we'll take some string, go into that corner loop, and chain the same amount you did on the other side. And like I said, you will hold the last 2 loops, pulling that nice and tight. And you'll do that on both ends. And then you can just weave this in. Weave this in. And then if you're using acrylic yarn, you can cut this pretty short. And then use a lighter if you're of age to use a lighter. And kind of melt that and squish it down, and it'll be really secure. Or you can also take a yarn needle and kind of weave that back up in here. And then, like I said, depending on the yarn you're using and the hook size you're using, you may need more or less rows. Like this yarn is much thinner and I use a smaller hook than this one, so this one would probably need a lot less rows than this one. But since this one's different colors, it'll be a little easier to show you. Once I got done doing here, I just circled around, continued. In case you're wondering what the edges look like with one going straight and the other one being curved, they look fine. And then on this one, I have not weaved in or finished off the ends yet, so we'll just ignore that. And that is how you crochet a handkerchief. And also tips on the color changing. When I got done with the row, I just cut it and tied new string so there wasn't a bunch of ends to weave in. Or you can also use it color striping or anything like that. If you make this, you can tag me on whatever social media platform you use. I would love to see them and see what colors you use. I'm always interested to see what kind of color patterns people come up with. I think that's so fun. If you made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them in the comment section below. If you'd like to ask your questions in a more private setting, you can also contact me on Instagram. I'll have that linked in the description box below. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.